What's happening, Miles?
What's happening, Brian?
Not a lot.
Do you know what was really weird today?
What?
I was on a virtual VR call with my good old colleague, Mr. West Dillon. He,
Yeah.
King of West Days.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm familiar. Yeah.
yeah, and it was really weird just seeing him there in a Meta Horizon avatar that looked quite like him, because I was so used to seeing him in full knight armor.
Uh-huh.
After last night's live stream we were all just like trying to make do with whatever we could find, and I turned around and Wes was like fully kitted out. He was the only one that looked ready for battle.
I saw the picture of your virtual meeting today.
Oh no, not that one.
From your CEO, and she said that you redefined the definition of casual Fridays because you showed up as professional as always, in a dinosaur costume.
Yeah,
head to toe.
And to be honest, Brian, when you saw that, you were probably surprised and went, that's not like Miles.
It's the funny thing is I was like, well, this is definitely Miles to a T, but I pictured you being just very
to a T-Rex.
Serious.
I mean,
very serious in the meeting, and just like not acknowledging the fact that you were wearing this costume at all. That's what I envisioned. Like you just went in deadpan, totally serious, being like, oh hey, okay guys, what do we need to talk about today? What do we need to talk about?
I actually gave a really important update on that call, and everyone's having to take me seriously.
I love it. I love it. All right, man. I know we're a little bit low energy, but we're gonna get there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
No, the game cats always bring the energy, and then we're like, yeah, it's Friday, so let's start the show, Brian.
All right, let's go. If you're sure.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we could start the show.
Let's go. This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing leisure. We do care, however, also about your oral pleasure. Oral. That's why our podcast goes up on podcast services of your choice each and every night. My name is Brian Paul from the channel right here without Parole. And the gentleman over here to my left, to your right, it's Miles Dyer from youtube.com/Miles. Or sorry, as Grumpy Williams says, Dinosaur.
Oh, it was a dinosaur today. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh man, I should have brought all my my dinosaur puns, but I'll see if I can think of any during the show. But howdy, Brian. Howdy, Game Cats. It's Friday, the end of another week. It's been a very busy week for all of us in various ways. Had a really good live stream, as we just touched upon last night. Legendary Tales. My goodness.
It's good.
Just jumping back into that, I forgot how. Always knew it looked good, but when you're back in it, it looks really good in the headset, doesn't it, Brian?
It does. It looks beautiful, running at 90 frames native, high resolution. And man, it's one of those games that, for me, I generally don't get like super creative with my kills. I just want to swing the sword, and I've been criticized about that before. Like, oh, your gameplay footage is so boring. And like, oh, that's fine. Like I'm an old man. I'm not jumping up and down. But man, I was so excited to play with you guys last night that I feel like I really got into it. And I was like, bashing enemies with my sword, bashing with my magic wand when I ran out of MP. And it was just so much fun watching the physics on some of those peasants and skeletons. Just, they flew across the room, like you hit them from under with the shield and they just go flying into the ceiling. I was like, man, it was, you guys really brought like a unique energy and pulled something different out of me. And it was really fun. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it might actually be the first time. I mean, I think I may have joined multiplayers randomly before, where there's like 3 people playing, but actually like going in there with 3 other people that I knew. I've not done that before, and so it was really fun to play. I've played like with 1 or 2 other people, but have a team of 4. I can see myself. Look, I don't have time to, but I could see myself playing it again from the beginning if there was a squad of 4, because just the dynamic and the idea that you could all choose your own build, because Normally, I'd just all be about strength and HP. But I can imagine, well, is what I kind of started doing there. It's like, no, I'll be a mage this time because have someone as an archer, and then you like as you find stuff, you can give each other items that they need for their builds, and I think that it just adds a whole another layer of legendary tales, which I very much enjoyed. So thank you to everyone who tuned in, and for those who donated, incredible stuff.
Yeah. Actually, there were some people who. Oops, this is. Hold on a second. I got the wrong page up. Let's see if I can't get this right. Okay, that's back where it's supposed to be. There's some people who donated at the very end of the stream, and we missed. And what in the hell is happening?
Friday is happening, Brian. This is Friday.
I'm so tired, Miles. I'm so tired. There's just no getting around it. And I have no idea what is currently happening with my desktop. I just don't even understand. There it is. Okay, I found it. It was hiding. Shout out to some of the people who donated to the stream after or at the very end and between then and now. Let's see. We had I think we had Jeff. We had Patrick Smith 22 hours ago with $5. Jeff Amlani, guessing with $25. 21 hours ago. Mad Vegan was at the end of our stream with $10 tip. Anonymous hit us up with a $20 tip 13 hours ago. And Tiffany Tolman hit us up with $100 5 hours ago.
Wow.
Thank you all very much. We are 37% of the way to our goal. Man, if we could hit 40% during this stream, I mean, we'd be 3% closer to our goal. Listen,
that is very true.
So I was saying this on Wednesday that we're constantly adjusting the goal. We have no idea how much money we're going to need, and so I brought it down from 20 to 15 because that's much more reasonable. There was no way we were going to need 20, but 15 is a lot closer. And then over last night or yesterday, or whatever, I changed my hotel reservations because I was like, we're not going to come anywhere close to the goal. And so I tried to cut down, expenses, and I'm only going to be staying at the hotel half as long as I was originally going to plan on spend there. And I'll just Uber back and forth the other days. And so we're going to be adjusting this goal even further. But I think the final goal is going to be closer to like 12,000, 11,000, something like that. And so we're actually much closer to meeting our goals than it looks, right? Because 12 is much easier to hit than 15.
Absolutely. And yeah, just honestly, all the generosity, just absolutely incredible. Like, this community is amazing, and we're very, very grateful.
Man, I am with you though.
As Looper just said, so not only are we going to the goal is also going to us.
It's true.
Absolutely.
It's so true. If you're going to contribute, please consider using the link that is pinned to the top of the chat or in the description of the video. That is how we get closer to our goal. But we got some tips coming in. We got every single episode, Noctis comes in and hits us up with €1. Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate you being here. We also got JPEG Q with the $5 tip, says, is EXOcars worth buying now? It's on sale in North America, PlayStation Network right now, 25% off. What was it, $20 at launch? And so now it's 15. Plus now it has multiplayer, wheel and pedal support. I don't know. Listen, I haven't really jumped in. I don't want to lie.
I haven't been on since multiplayer. Yeah. Like I've got to take everyone else's word for it that the cross-platform multiplayer is working properly. I still don't like the fact that it's only 4 players total. I feel like a racing game needs 8. Even Galaxy Kart with 6. There's one point where Galaxy Kart supported 8, but it got very buggy, and it was so much more fun with 8 players. So I'm a little bit bummed that it's only 4 players total. But they did add new maps. They did they added the wheel support, but they're still not proper force feedback support. Listen, for $15, if they're clearly going to support this game, right? So if you trust them and it's the kind of game that you're interested in, go for it, right? Go for it. And the multiplayer includes the arcadey mode where you can shoot rockets and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And again, I really wish that was a little bit more prevalent. I feel like that should be the game, right? That should be the core mode, and because it adds so much to the game, but on its own, it feels a little lacking. I don't know, But yeah, $15 is a decent price for EXOcars. Just know that it's like it doesn't feel quite done, but it's getting there. As I just admitted, though, I haven't actually played it for a little while, so maybe it feels more done now. The physics apparently have been improved.
Nice.
GameCat Andrew Ehrenreich gifted 1 without Parole membership. Thank you so much for your generosity, and congrats to Wonder Rob lurking in the shadows, who was the beneficiary of that. Cool. Miles, we actually got some really cool stuff to talk about today. But I wanted to kick it off with a viewer takeover question.
But before we get to cool stuff, let's talk about something that's not cool.
I mean, we got cool news to talk about, but the viewer takeover question isn't so much about news.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Remember, guys, you can leave your viewer takeover questions on in our Discord in the viewer takeover channel, just like Metro Man Sirens on my end. The Game Cat did. It's hashtag viewer takeover. I'm curious to know if you think any games that fared poorly would have done better if designed and released by an alternative studio/company, and how you think their distinctive creative design approach would have influenced the game. Thanks for all you do for us cats in the VR community. Interesting question. I feel like we could do a whole show on this.
Yeah, it's a great topic.
I want to throw one out there. I kind of wish that Vertical Robot did Alien Rogue Incursion. Right now, this question is sort of about bad games that could have been better by other studios, but I'm taking it in a little bit different direction because I kind of don't care about bad games, like games that are just bad, right? A lot of times there's just no saving grace. There's nothing that could have been done. But I feel like there's games that felt a little undercooked. And I think the biggest problem with Alien Rogue Incursion, for me at least, was that, like, man, it just didn't look good graphically. Like, it's like, here's these particle effects with lighting and blah, blah, blah. And right, but like Vertical Robot handles these like sci-fi, these space environments, like with the metallic walls and the whole thing, right? Like very similar environments, but with far more detail and better resolution and better lighting and better everything than Servios managed to pull off. And I absolutely would have loved to see what they could have done with Alien Rogue Incursion. I mean, we haven't seen them animate something like a xenomorph, but they only have to really animate like a xenomorph, like one xenomorph, right? And then throw 1,000 of them at us throughout the course of the game. So I feel like that's the one right there that I want.
That's a good one, man. What would I think? I'm like just thinking off the top of my head of like a studio I love and a game that, what if it had been given a bit more polish or something like that? Because I'm thinking like in the realms of like End Dreams. Like I look at the locomotion when we think of stuff in Synapse or in Frenzies, and then I'm thinking of like other games that have like a lot of movement. So like Stride. Like if that was done by End Dreams, like Stride I actually had some fun with, but it needed more polish. And like End Dreams I've always regarded as a studio that their games are polished. So I could imagine that being like quite a good combination there.
Dude, that's a good shout, I think. Because honestly, like, yeah, it's almost like I kind of want to take this question a little bit in a different direction, right? To be like, we don't want to take anything away from the game, because End Dreams isn't exactly known for their long games, right? So we don't want them starting this over from scratch and making this 2 or 3 hour experience out of it. I think Stride had plenty of levels and there's a lot going on. But yeah, man, getting End Dreams to come in at the last minute and sort of revamp the mechanics to work the way that End Dreams games do, with the cover-based stuff and the great shooting. I think that's a great shout.
Or if End Dreams did like, wait, was Dead Hook by the same company, same studio?
Dead Hook was Joyway, right?
Yeah, it was. Both were Joyway, weren't they? Stride as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the other one that came to mind. Both were games I actually had a good time with. I was like, it just lacks a bit of polish, or like it could look sharper on the PSVR2. Although, to be honest, with Stride, I've actually not been back to it since they had the patch, and people do say it does look a lot better in the headset now. So
it does. It looks so much. Stride Fates looks so much better than it did at launch. Yeah, I mean, the aliasing is gone. It just like everything looks a lot better. It looks like it does in the trailers.
Right,
dude. Actually, now that we've played Resist, I want the binary mill. To do Resist, right? Because that was the best grappling we've had in VR, I think, ever so far. Yeah. I'm looking in the chat. Does anyone have? No one has suggestions in the chat. What's going on here? Chat's asleep. It's okay. We are too. Well, I am too. I don't want to speak for Miles. Cool. Remember, guys, if you have any...
See, this is such a good topic. I'm literally just sat here thinking of games and combinations and stuff.
Yeah. It's not. I don't want to get too crazy here, because I don't know if this is just me kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing if anything sticks. But what if Wanted Dev Studio?
That's who I was thinking of. What game are you going to say? Because I was about to say Wanted Dev Studio.
Well, right, because since Wanted Dev made Propagation. Oh no, I was thinking about them doing Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Right, but the dark, gritty Ghostbusters that we actually want, because they kind of killed the Propagation, right? And so they know how to make these, especially since, like, I think, you know, an iconic area in Ghostbusters, especially the first movie, is the hotel, right? It's like when you play the Ghostbusters games, a lot of them start in that hotel. And we have Propagation Paradise Hotel. They made a scary hotel. Now you just got to give us some proton packs and some Slimers to bust.
That's a really good shout. Yeah, the more gritty version. I like Damo in the chat. The Down Under game cat says Flight Sim by anyone else.
I was kind of on the edge of my seat, being like, by who? And yeah, anyone else is a great suggestion.
I would say the Forever games, Forever Bowl, Forever Pool, all of them. If it got done by, I'm going to say Mighty Coconuts, like
oh yeah,
Mighty Coconut, just because. And like, look, I'm being honest. The Forever games, even Forever Cornhole, those games do so much right. Like all the customization of your different items and that.
Yeah.
I know I sound stupid. In Cornhole, the sack physics are really good when you throw it and it like just moves about. Those games are really good, and it's just like they haven't done the end bit. They've not thought about the ecosystem, and if there's something that Mighty Coconut are great by, it's creating an ecosystem. Like, it's what we always say, Walkabout Mini Golf. They can just keep making courses and what they do, and they keep innovating the modes and thinking about the social aspects and the community. Like, they've just nailed that to a T. And so I do think, like, the Forever games, if, you know, Mighty Coconut sprinkled a bit of their magic, I actually think they'd be actually really good titles.
Yeah, I feel like Mighty Coconut could charge another $20 for walk and call Forever Bowl, Forever Cornhole, and Forever Pool just DLC for Walkabout. Right? It's like they open up that lobby just to have other places to hang out. You go play a game of pool while you're waiting for your friends to show up for a game of mini golf.
They just for the Forever games just need to have it where they either do a massive discount so you'll buy, or make it free to play. Because the idea of like, hey, do you want to play some bowling? Oh, do you want to play some corner? Well, you got to splash another, what was it, $20? It's just that you're not going to get multiplayer people in there. And the fact they've made all these great cosmetics, that's what people would be willing to spend money on, you know, once they're in there. But yeah. See, we could do a full show like this, Brian. It's such a good.
We're halfway there.
Such a good one.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen. Just before we went live, Asia Wrath over on Twitter spotted that the GameStop is selling refurbished PSVR2 Sense controllers. Right here. Look at this. $80 a pop. $80 for the right controller. Wouldn't it be funny if it was a different price for the left controller? It'd be like 70 for the left and for the right.
But, yes. How much do you want the other one?
Wait, yeah, right. Yeah, the left one is $50. The right one is $250. Like, wait a minute. This is bullshit.
No, just so they get on the listing, they'll go like the left one is $20. Oh wow, only $20. And it's like when I stopped using eBay because I get all see these really good deals. I'm like, oh, this is only $10. Postage and packaging like $200. I'm like, get out of here. It's evil.
Miles,
Evil.
what do you think? What do you think of these prices? Do you think $80 per refurbished used Sense controllers each, $80 each, is a decent deal?
I mean, for refurbished, I don't know, man. I feel like that's just, it's a bit, I mean, again, I'm always difficult when it's dealing with dollars because I'm like, how would that translate in the UK? I don't know. What would you like if Sony sold them like brand new? What do you think the price would be? Like, I was thinking like 120.
You think 120 a piece? Yeah.
No. I meant for both a pair,
Oh.
120 or $150, like around that sort of mark. No, if they're selling them at scale as extras, or do you think they'd actually sell them for more?
Well, now that the price of the headset itself that contains two controllers is down to what, $350 or is it $400? I can't remember. $400? What did we drop the price to? I feel like $150 for the pair seems right.
Yeah, 149.99. Yeah.
Right.
And Steve in the chat said, the price we're looking there that's a supply and demand price, which is true. Which is you can't get. They can charge a premium because you can't get them anywhere. So that's a good point as well.
Yeah, I think most people picking these up are not people who are like, oh, I really need a second set of Sense controllers. They're people who have been playing and then punched their wall with their right hand and said, oh crap,
Right.
I need a new right Sense controller. And so they're like, and when you look at it that way, to get back into the game for $80, that seems like a pretty good deal.
That's actually a good point.
But yeah, just to buy a new set for $160, that's used / refurbished. I don't know. I mean, listen, the good side about this is I know that generally when you buy stuff refurbished from pretty much anyone, they come with a 2-year guarantee, and so
that's true.
So maybe it's worth it just on that alone, because Sony's own return policy is pretty crappy. It's like 1 year, and it's a pain in the ass.
I'm trying to remember what I paid for the Move controllers when I got my PSVR, because I remember I just went everywhere that listed them and they were sold out just because they weren't produced. And in the end, what I paid, dude, I was paying near like $100 for the Move controllers because they were just rare to find.
Yep.
And you know what? It was worth it. It was totally worth it, even though it was like an 8-year-old bit of thing. To go from using just the DualSense controller, or the DualShock, it was called then, using like 3 hands, even though it was a Move controllers. But like back then, that was a massive difference for someone who was new to VR gaming. So yeah. If you need a spare set, then yeah, that's a pretty decent price, I think.
Yeah, I remember I remember people freaking out trying to get Move controllers, and I think I had like 4 actual Move controllers and two of the navigational controllers from the PS3 Move days, and I was just like, I was sitting on a gold mine. I was like, I'm good to go for years. And those lasted me all through the PSVR 1 era. Those were old, and the battery life was never an issue. They worked great.
I still use my Move controllers now when I keep diving back in. It's great. And the magic of buying the aim controller, having that box and using the aim controller for the first time. That is like one of the most impressive like gaming experiences I've ever had, using an aim controller for the first time in Firewall. I was like, this is an amazing peripheral.
Yeah, I was just switching the trailer over to something a little more appropriate for our conversation. There we go. This is the far point.
I'm just going to start mentioning random games, so you just have to tweet. Yeah,
that's fine. I mean, it's pretty much all I'm able to do right now. Slapping that ass with the $5 tip says, I just got Vendetta Forever, and it's rad, but the corded headset is killing it for me. Any ideas to fix it choking me? You could get into choking and like have that be a thing you enjoy instead of.
There's a lot of websites about choking that you can check out, and then
Yep. So I think you could do that. Maybe playing Vendetta Forever will start turning you on instead of turning you off.
Good point. It's a good point. Hopefully
honestly,
that was helpful.
Dude, this is why people come here, man, because we're just solving everybody's problems one after another. Bring them to us. We get you covered. I think honestly, like I think the court's just never been a problem for me, regardless of regardless of what game I'm playing. And I think it's
Agreed.
usually because the cord just falls behind my back shoulder, and it's like I always kind of feel it there, and so I kind of always know where it is. And so like when I'm moving left and right, I'm like feeling it there, and I'm like honestly moving a little bit with the knowledge that it's there, and to make sure that it stays behind this shoulder, behind this back. And so I'm not doing anything to like have it come out from to be in front of my shoulder or have it get in the way. It's just never been an issue. Yeah, and Zadi says just play with the cord behind you. That's where I'm at. But I know that that's a kind of like one thing, like one more thing to think about while you're playing. But
I get it though,
everybody's
because some people when they play games and there's a lot of turning, they don't like using the analog sticks. Whereas I just use it a lot, and I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that most of the time I'm playing, I'm streaming, where I've just got into my default is both feet are planted into the ground, so shoulder width apart,
Yeah.
and so I always know like I'm always going to be stepping that way. Whereas if I had like a big room, like I see in many of these places in the States, and you got a big room and you want to play. Because when I played Vendetta Forever, the first time it was at Gamescom, and I played it on a Meta Quest headset, but there was no cord, and I was spinning around everywhere. And to be honest, it was the worst I ever played, probably because I was just running around with the freedom and getting dizzy. Whereas if I was playing on PSVR2, like I'm always like using the analog sticks and that. So
yeah, actually,
I
something I think I kind of rediscovered last night while I was playing Legendary Tales. Like I said, I was getting really into the action, trying to like put on a good show for the stream and just like have fun and be a little over the top, be crazy. And a number of times I hit my bookshelf or whatever, right? Just because I was moving in directions I don't normally move. I'm always using the analog stick, so I think that's a massive difference too. I think a lot of people, I don't know if Slapping That Ass was playing on PSVR1 with the rest of us, but you couldn't turn away from the camera, right? Like there was only you were at risk of occluding the move controller's light tracking. And so you always did your best to like stand in full view of the camera at all times, and we got really good at using the turn buttons and using the move button to move and all that, just and to make sure we're always standing in one specific place. And because you're streaming and because I stream, and I think we've just gotten really used to making sure we're using the in-game controls to turn. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe give that a shot.
God, seeing this footage makes me want to play this game again.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of levels I've still not played. The one where you're falling down the middle of the stairs, shooting around. I haven't played that one yet. And they're all unlocked from the beginning, so I can just try and find it. It's awesome.
I haven't played much. I had issues with bugs when I first jumped in, and I was just like, oh, this is ruining it for me. It's just ruining it. So I always meant to come back to it, along with 100 other games that I've always meant to come back to and just haven't had a chance to. Shapeshifter, the Anomaly Gamecast says, I'm a VR couch potato exclusively. That's good. I could imagine that limits what you play, right? If you only play games sitting down in VR, right? If you're only like, hey, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play every game I buy on a couch, right? I think it limits what you can play, which is fine, right? But then you got to really be paying attention to what games are going to cause an issue for you and what ones aren't. Interesting. I did play seated all day today though. I had to. I'm finishing up my Dig VR review, and so I've been playing that seated because you're playing in a seated position. But then Ghost Town, normally I would be 100% like, it's a game you're standing in, it's a game that you're walking around in. But I was just, man, it's one of those days. I just sat here in this chair and went, Foomp. Bring the game to me. I don't want to come to the game. Just like feed me, Seymour. Okay. I don't know why Little Shop of Horrors came to mind. That was weird. Miles, what's next on our run of show? I'm too tired to even look.
Something about PSVR2. It says there. What is it? Walltown Wonders. Dated.
That's good. Yeah, dude, this is great. Okay, listen. We just got the announcement. What was it? Was it last week or the week before? Like it was. It feels like it was in the last 10 days. That Walltown Wonders, a game that I honestly haven't even heard of because it was mostly a mixed reality game.
Yeah,
Right, mixed
beautiful.
reality on Quest, beautiful. But it was a game that I hadn't even heard of because it just didn't. I was like, oh well, this if anyone had ever brought it up to me, then I was like, well, it's probably not coming to PSVR2. And I just hadn't been really paying attention to what Cyborg was doing post Hubris. And so then it went from being announced for PSVR2 like 10 days ago to getting a release date, what, today? And then, or yesterday? And it's May 7th, I believe, right? Is that the right? May 7th. And then it's going to be out. It's going to be out in like 10 more days. It's crazy, man. Like this is I think how more people would prefer games to be announced and released, right? It would be like from announcement to release, it's what, 3 weeks total. I would absolutely love this if every game was doing the same thing.
I was about to ask you if they'd actually released any footage of how it looks on PSVR 2, like not in mixed reality, and then I see the trailer pop up, and I'm looking at it, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if you just choose virtual environments that you want to play in, because I've played maybe an hour, 2 hours of it in mixed reality on my Quest, and it is amazing. And it's really interesting though, because like again, I know I always talk about my parents having a Quest 3, but I always find that they're a really good way of judging a user-friendly nature of a game. And as I was playing it, there were certain bits I was like, it's not entirely clear what I'm supposed to do here, but because I play a lot of games, I can kind of work it out. And there was a few sections where I was like, I can imagine my parents being like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm their tolerance is very low. Like I don't know what to do here. So yeah, I personally loved it, and
Nice.
how it's going to translate on PSVR2. I mean, if it's got a platinum trophy, I'm there. I'm
sure
there.
it does.
I'll play it all again.
Yeah,
but it is it was a really cool PSVR, a mixed reality thing, because there's a bit where you literally have to drop characters on your floor, and they'll be like rummaging around your room and stuff, and just like. Yeah, the mixed reality stuff, when it's like you're placing stuff on walls, and like as you see on there, like they're literally digging holes, like they're mining in your living room. It does look incredible. Like it's an amazing thing to see. But looks like they've done a good job here.
Yeah, the thing I was I always say about mixed reality is that I don't want to see my apartment while I'm playing games. Because my apartment, I like it. I love living here, right? But like it's always a little bit messy. And then I looked at this and the 3 virtual environments that they set you up with in Wild Time Wonders, and it's almost like I thought this was a mixed reality trailer because the virtual environments that they set you up in look so good, right? You get these big windows that look outside into nature. The lighting looks really good. The rooms are really big compared to what I'm working with here, right? And so this, I honestly think this is the best of both worlds. I think not only are they delivering this awesome, cozy city builder type environment, but they're also doing it without me having to like feel like I haven't cleaned my apartment in 2 weeks.
You said best of both worlds, as in like your
Hannah
world,
Montana,
virtual reality world.
I thought we were going to break into the Hannah Montana theme song.
No, sorry to disappoint you there.
I'm incredibly disappointed.
The virtual worlds look so good in this. A part of me is like, was this not built for? Like, I just feel when it does come to MetaQuest games that are mixed reality, 90% of the time, I'm always like, they should offer a non-mixed reality world. It's like if you've worked out for mixed reality, unless it's one where you've actually got to move through actual space. But like, if it's one where you can create a virtual world version of the game, it should be done, because you're just alienating a part of the audience. There are some people that will just, for reasons like you've said, have no interest in playing mixed reality. So, and as you say, like the environments in this look absolutely stunning.
Chrome Quas in the chat says, "Isn't the Midnight Walk releasing on the very next day?" And this is sort of what I was talking about last Friday about just how crazy May was going to be. I had listed about, I think, 7 or 8 games that we 100% knew were coming out in May, but I also said, I was like, we're just gonna get fucking other games that haven't been announced yet, that don't have release dates yet, and they're all just going to drop in May. I would bet quite a bit of money, or at least quite a few pizzas, on Undead Citadel coming out next month. They've been on the precipice of releasing their game for like the better part of like a month or two, and I think the only reason we're not getting it sooner than like now this week is because they're implementing the 90 hertz native mode. Yeah, and then we're waiting to hear back from Cyan Worlds about Firmament. We don't know if that passed certification, but if it did, that should be out any second now, right? It's just I Am Cat looks like it's on its way soon. There's just a ridiculous list of games all coming likely in May, and then the developers of Smash Drums have been on our Discord saying that they've got an announcement coming soon, and it's like, who wants to guess? I mean, just come on. So, yeah, May's going to be crazy. Can we reschedule the Game Cat meetup by any chance, so I can actually get all this done, play all these games?
To be honest, working at Impact Reality, there's so much happening that we're planning for in May, and I was also like, yeah, can we move PAX East? Can we ask PAX East just to put it back a month? I mean, the reality is it has been moved this year already.
Right. Well, wouldn't it?
Because we don't like it in the cold.
Please, I'd take the cold any day to go in March on a far less busy time. I'm really hoping that PAX goes back to March next year, but we'll see how it goes. Steve Irie in the chat says, has anyone ever cashed in on one of these pizza bets? No, the point is sort of that like it's very reciprocal, meaning like that if Miles wins a pizza bet that he plays with me, then I have this chance to win that pizza back, and
it all cancels out.
Yeah. It's
an equation. Pizza equals pizza.
They're figurative.
It cancels out.
Figurative pizzas, which are really the worst kind of pizzas. They're not literal pizzas.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the figurative pizzas. Oh my god. What a terrible concept.
Listen, if we were cashing in on pizza bets, like I would be in debt to AJ for pretty much the rest of my life. Virtual pizzas. That's a better one, Popsicle. It makes a lot more sense.
Oh, dude, why is there not a pizza making game in VR? Although, actually, do you know, in Meta Horizon Worlds, dude, we need to do this sometime if I can ever drag you in. They have a restaurant where you run a pizza place and you have to make the pizzas and then you serve the tables, and you can't eat the pizza though. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, and what's the fucking point? We had on PSVR1 we had Counterfight. We had like 2 Counterfight games, 3 Counterfight games, something like that. And it was you were making ramen and everything, and soup, and serving it,
right,
to customers as they come in. Is it like that, or is it not like that?
Yeah, like it is, but it's like that. But what's also good is you can go to the restaurant and you can sit down and order a pizza, and then someone actually has to make it for you. So I would love it if we had that on PSVR2 as a social. We could have a Game Cat. Can you imagine having a Game Cat pizza party on PSVR2? Where, dude, that would be awesome if us, Wes, AJ, you and I, we actually did a meetup on there, Sunday meetup, and it's like Game Cats. You turn up. We're gonna cook the pizzas. You come in and we'll make the pizzas.
Wait.
Why?
The way around. Why? Yeah, we should be sitting at the table ordering the cats around. You guys gonna make?
And we have to eat whatever they serve us.
Ooh, yeah. No mushrooms, please. No mushrooms or olives. I'll be fucked.
Okay.
Anyway, Wild Time Wonders coming.
We need social experiences. PlayStation.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
PlayStation Home VR. Bring it.
Let's check in with the cats. Fifth with the Australian $5 tip says, where is Propagation Paradise Hotel Part 2? It's been ages. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
My guess is they haven't even started production of it. I don't know if they will start production of it. I don't know how it's sold, right? It seems like they've moved on to other games. Wanted Dev has just released another game on Quest, I believe, or announced or something. I don't know who can keep up, but they've also, they're also constantly updating Ragnarok. My guess is that Propagation didn't sell as well as it needed to. So maybe they'll get around to it one day, but all we can do. Listen, Propagation goes on sale on PSVR2 for like $10, and
Buy it,
it's
people.
right.
It's so worth it.
Yeah, the polish you get for a $20 game is unbelievable. It might only be 3 or 4 hours long, but it is so much fun. It is so good. It's so scary. It's so well done. You should be buying it for full price if you want to support them, in that way. But if you want to get a good deal, you can support them by waiting for a sale and picking it up for $10. It is, yeah. I mean, that's the only way we're going to get Propagation Paradise Hotel 2 is if a massive surge of people actually buy the first game, right? Because sequels generally just don't sell as well as the original game. I don't know if that's true. I think I just made that up. Because you're only marketing it, right, to the people who bought the original game, and not all of those people are going to buy part 2. So
that's it. You'd have to bundle it.
Asia Ras says review numbers on Quest is surprisingly low compared to PSVR 2 for Propagation. So maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's not us. Maybe we bought the game, as we do, and the Quest players didn't, and that's where they think their numbers are at or should be at. But yeah, I mean that is on top of my list, fifth. That if I could convince one developer to get on to start making a sequel to a game, that's right up there. Game Cato with the Australian 10 says, I can't stop playing Resist. 120 hertz rocks, even though I keep glitching through the map since the last update. Posted a vid in the Discord. You guys had that issue? Much love from Australia. I fell through the map one time. I will say that. I generally don't bring up a bug like that if it happened once and I can't replicate it. Right, but following through it once throughout the course of the entire game, and the fact that like when I reloaded, it brought me like a minute. Like it wasn't like I had to replay multiple missions or anything like that. It brought me right back to where I needed to be. It really like wasn't an issue for me. But that's a real shame because we were just talking about how it's not buggy, and how it didn't have any issues, and it's like super polished. So it sucks that you're having that, but it seems like you're still liking it. He says I can't stop playing Resist 120 hertz native rocks. So he's obviously playing on the Pro. I love this game.
Last time I fell through the floor was Bocce VR Simulator. So be warned, people.
Wasn't that like in the menu screen or something?
As soon as I started the game and I tried to start, I fell through the floor, had to hard reset the game, and then it happened again. So I then basically, when I started the game, I had to quickly start the game before I'd fall through the floor. Because that's what you want from a VR game. When you play a game like Bocce VR Simulator, you want like suspense, terror, the fear of falling to oblivion before you start a nice game of Bocce. So, just in case anyone was considering it. Have you got footage of that game? No, you don't. Bocce VR Simulator has the worst trailer I've ever seen for a VR game.
Oh, yeah.
It's like someone went, what's all the presets of transitions between different like clips? Let's add them all. Like as you're focusing on one thing, it's already gone to the transition to the next thing, and you just feel like you're having a stroke. Yeah, it's horrific.
It is really bad. I would play it, but I don't want anybody to have to experience that.
It's not worth a Brian bite.
Oh shit, we got multiple more tips. I thought we had one more tip, but we have multiple more tips. Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver. Game Cat with the $2 tip says, "Hey guys, taking a break from art to get pizza." Man, I haven't. I've seen some sketches from Kill Artist. He's working on some project. As you guys know, he made this awesome piece of art for Game Cat Meetup 2024, and he's hard at work on artwork for Game Cat Meetup 2025. Can't wait to see the final project, the final product,
the final piece.
Yes, yeah,
the final piece.
Keep it up, Kill Artist. Can't wait to see you. It's going to be a good time. Man, people keep saying they're coming to the Game Cat meetup, man. We got people coming from other countries. We got people coming from all over the place. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see who's able to make it and who doesn't make it this year. But it looks like we've got a good crew already confirmed to be there. It's going to be good. Slapping that ass with a $5 tip says, just wanted to say, of course I played on PSVR 1. It's still the only way to get trophies in the best game of all time. Shooty fruity. That's awesome.
Shooty fruity.
Yeah. Listen, I don't trust my brain when it comes to memories. I I feel like I remember slapping that ass from all the way back in the PSVR1 era, but like I'm so wrong so frequently that I don't want to trust myself.
Whose were you in that era?
What's up?
You were slapping whose ass in the PSVR1 era?
Everyone's ass. No one is
Fair.
safe. Yep.
Equal opportunity. I like that. Equality.
Yep.
I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You, man, you were not safe during the legendary Tales stream yesterday. I was trying to get you drunk so we could hook up. Which, in all fairness, it wasn't because I've got some like secret crush on Miles, right? No, it's because
he's very open about it.
It's because he looked just like me, and I was like, what would it be like hooking up with myself? Right? Hooking up with an identical twin. That's very incestuous. You know what? I take it all back.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't want to.
We could have we were in a three-way with Wes. Wes looked like us as well. And that's why he was like, I'm going to wear all this armor. So
it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indy, got to protect your heart. Sorry. It wasn't his heart he was trying to protect. Okay.
At the end of the day, if AJ was getting his meat out all stream.
Yeah, it's true.
Couldn't stop getting out. And he burned it one time as well.
Oh, did he burn it? Did he burn his meat?
He burned it one time. He got his meat out and then he left it on the fire too long.
That's not going to heal overnight.
And then he fed it to me and then it hurt me because like as soon as you eat a bit of burnt meat, your character goes, ugh! Yeah, just like that. And you take health damage. But I was by the fire when I did it, so I replenished it pretty quickly. So crisis averted. Anyway, you can learn about all these shenanigans on Legendary Tales.
Makes me feel a little bit better. He says if it's an identical twin, it's just awesome masturbation. That's slightly better. I mean, I guess.
That's a good point.
I don't know. Mr. Twisted Metal Black Game Cat with the 10 quid says, if I was Sony trying to get more PSVR adopters, create a headset benefiting flat and VR titles. Headset that matches or betters. I'm
current TVs.
Is it me?
Add to that, why can't flat games take advantage of DFR? So what he's saying is, well, to be honest, I think this is what the future is of VR. Is people are going to stop spending $1,000 plus on a really nice TV when you'll be able to get a headset that looks clearer for playing flat screen titles. Yeah.
Okay. I'm all caught up now. Right.
It's all right.
Okay.
So I struggled with it at first, but thank you for the tip.
Yeah. No. But I understand. Now that I understand what you're saying, yeah, I get it. Like why benefiting flat and VR titles. It would be so cool to be able to play flat screen games in 3D. Right?
Yes.
Just give me a virtual TV to play flat screen games on when I put the headset on, and have those games be in 3D. We don't have to be first person. They don't have to be anything else. They just, 100%. It makes a lot more sense that way. And it would be great to have that option. I think I'd play a lot more flat screen games if I had that option. And he says, why can't add to that? Why can't flat games take advantage of DFR? Right, on the TV you can't because there's no eye tracking on your TV. But in the headset, absolutely. Like those games could look fantastic. Oh yeah, you're making a lot of sense here. Sorry, it took me so long to figure out what the fuck you were saying.
I like it.
That's really good. I like it.
Good idea.
Come on, Sony, get on that. Hold on.
Sony should do it, which means they're probably not.
Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat with the Australian $5 tip says, who would like to see a stream of AJ and Brian playing Creed in haptic vests?
With
I'm not raising my hand.
Wide open. Is it arms wide open or is it eyes wide open? It's arms, isn't it? Because in the video it's like this kind of.
Arms, yeah.
Arms wide open.
Was that the song for the Titan AE soundtrack? Is that the one they used for that?
Oh, was it? I don't know. I tried to see it on Krang TV as a kid.
Dude, I love Titan AE. Like Titan AE was such a fun movie, and
I heard it was really good. I never saw it.
I enjoyed it. It got critically panned though. Like people, just didn't like it. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. Like my brother and I both saw it, and then in the theater, and then I think we bought each other the DVDs when it came home. And I've always enjoyed it. I watched it again recently, holds up. It's not bad.
Okay.
It's pretty good. But yeah, there is a Creed song in it, and I can't remember which one it is. So thanks for that, Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat. I don't know if anybody wants to see that. I don't know if I want to play that. Mostly because I'm tired, and that sounds exhausting. Nidogger, the Game Cat, with the €2 says, long time no see. Much love from Austria. Long time no see.
Ow. Ow. That was Austrian. Hello. Ow.
Oh my God. Is that your Arnold Schwarzenegger impression? Is that what that is?
Get down.
Oh my God.
Get to the chopper. There's a new Predator movie called Predator Badland.
Oh,
yeah.
What's
coming out?
Yeah, how's it look? Does it look good?
It looked cool. It looks like the protagonist is the Predator. Like you're following.
Oh,
I don't know.
Got it.
I need to watch Prey. Did you see Prey?
I did. I really enjoyed Prey. I thought it was.
Dude, I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
I was around a neighbour's and I did the bad thing of having some beers and never get drunk when you watch a movie because you can't remember when you stopped paying attention.
Yep.
And yeah, I need to watch it again.
Prey was good. Yeah, just because it was such a different take on on a series. And honestly, like, I'm not the one to say whether it's a good or bad Predator movie because I'm just not into the Predator movies. Like, and I know I need to give them another chance and accept them for what they are and not be so judgmental that the fact that they're like these 80s movies that feel so fucking 80s that it's almost cringeworthy. Like I need to embrace that rather than reject it. And because I know everybody loves Predator movies and I need to give them a fair shake. But so Prey was the first one that I actually sat down and watched and was like, this is just like a legit great movie. But I have no idea if it's a good Predator movie. Miles, want to give a quick shout out here because I just refreshed the GoFundMe. Anonymous, 40 minutes ago.
Higher.
Wow, right, guys, 2 more percent. Come on, we can make it to 40%. We can do it. Anonymous, 40 minutes ago with a $37 tip. That means they're from another country. We can start deducing who they are. Michael Long, 39 minutes ago with the $10 contribution. Thank you, Michael. James Langston James Langstone with the $50 donation 17 minutes ago. And Mad Vegan with the $6 contribution 5 minutes ago. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Every bit counts
so much.
I've been saying since we started this thing that, like, if we could get everybody who, you know, watches even just this show to like throw $5 our way.
This one right now. Yeah.
This one. Yeah. Then we would have hit our goal forever ago, and then we probably wouldn't have even needed to ask money for next year. Like, this will take care of this year and next year. But thank you, guys. Thank you. We know that times are tough. We know that money's scarce, and so we would always prefer that you take care of yourself instead of us. Obviously, that's real life. You guys are real life. We are not. And real life is always more important. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. We got a Titan AE message from J Mind, the Metal Game Panther with the level 3 membership. Says the Titan AE soundtrack had the song "Over My Head" by Lit. The video was just the band members overlaid into scenes from the movie, like they were there. I remember that. That was good. It was a decent soundtrack.
There we go.
Yeah. Mad Vegan with a $2 tip says classic YouTube video. No more playing Siamese twins.
Okay. YouTube turned 20 2 days ago. 20 years old.
I did too. I just turned 20. It was like I celebrated my 20th birthday with.
Amazing. What's it like to grow up with YouTube your entire life?
Exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I remember World of Long Plays was in here on West Day, saying that that YouTube had just turned 20. And my guess is that World of Long Plays has been there almost since the beginning. He's like an OG YouTuber.
Do you know what the first ever YouTube video was that was uploaded?
Yeah, something at the zoo.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Wow,
that's how it started.
Talk. All right, wonderful.
Cheers,
Miles, let's get into the headline of today's show. Miles and I both played Ghost Town, which is by Fireproof Games. If you don't know, Fireproof is the makers of the Room VR, Dark Matter, and a game that, I mean, I've heard almost nobody complain about. Right, so these were some pretty. This is a studio with very good pedigree, but also they were taking a massive leap forward for the studio. They were leaving node to node teleportation behind. They were making something that was more narrative focused, and so when you let somebody off the rails, and you let them start walking anywhere, and opening doors themselves, and letting them pick up anything that they might like. Things can go wrong, and so I was a little bit nervous, honestly, for this game, and hoping that it would turn out well. And Miles, I think you and I can both say, after spending, I don't know, the first 90 minutes of the game in there today, I think we can both say pretty confidently that we've got nothing to worry about when this comes to PSVR 2.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. I was super, super impressed going into this. Few things that they do that, like the Room VR, and this isn't a criticism, it's a game where you're in very still environments. You feel like you're in a click and play sort of world, but obviously you're moving through it. But it's node to node teleportation. Here it's full locomotion. You've got actual characters moving around you, and you're in like quite dynamic environments. I thought the opening to this game was amazing. What do you think of it? The opening scene? I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was, man, I don't want to.
I know you don't like having to wait around for people to stop talking and stuff like that. And to be honest, at the very beginning, for people like us, it was a bit, I was like, I want to just go through this first door.
Yep.
But I really like the voice acting. I like the characters. It feels very grounded. You feel like you're actually there. Like, this isn't a spoiler, but like you feel like you're breaking in somewhere. Like you're at a theater, as you can see on screen right now, exploring it. And
quick heads up here. I rendered out the first, I don't know, probably hour of this game pop cycle. He says no spoilers. And we'll avoid spoilers when it comes to talking about the story for the most part, right? Like, I mean, like it didn't develop far enough for us to spoil it for you, right? We're just basically going to tell you the premise. But there are puzzles here that I'm solving that are pretty easy during the first hour. That we will. I didn't chop those out or anything like that. So if you want to like avert your eyes or just listen to this conversation, totally understandable. But that is. But yeah, so there will be minor puzzle solutions here, but not nothing crazy. It seems like for it feels like to me that I'm even an hour and a half in, like they're still teaching you how the game works, right? Not that it's tutorializing everything, right? It's the actual tutorial ends within the first 5 minutes, but it's there are puzzles that happen in the first hour that are kind of like, oh, are we going to be dealing with these type of puzzles the entire game? Is this what it's setting up? And so for me, it still very much felt like it was teaching me how to play, even when I turned off the Quest 3 and said, okay, that's it. I'm not playing any more. I'm not playing any more until the PSVR2 version comes out. And for good reason, Miles. As good as this looks on the Quest 3, this looks like a really good-looking PlayStation 2 game. And and that's not that's not a pejorative statement. I have a fondness for that era of PS2 games, and I hope that the upgraded textures and frame rate and resolution that comes from the Steam version, that hopefully we'll be getting a comparable version on PSVR 2. I'm hoping it bumps it up enough where I'm like, oh, this is a decent looking PlayStation 3 game, So
you said PlayStation 2 game, not
yeah.
No,
like,
I
this reminds me
PSVR 2 game.
This reminds me of
like
Yeah, this reminds me of like God of War 2 level of graphical quality, Metal Gear Solid 2, the best of the best when it comes to PS2, right? And again, that sounds like such a fucking slam against the game. It's not. It's a good looking game, right? But it kind of feels like I'm in a PlayStation 2 game. It feels like I'm playing Primal or Ica or something from the inside right now. And because it's good, man. The texture work is good and the resolution is decent, but I do see the limitations of the Quest 3 front and center here.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I'm sort of like it's a two sides to it. I think for a standalone headset, it looks amazing in
Yeah,
the headset. But all
100%.
along, I was like, I can't wait to play this on PSVR2, especially with the OLEDs. Like this opening scene, like it looks great, but like the blacks is just going to look incredible if it's done right on PSVR2.
Yeah.
I love the environments. Like this opening scene here, it's you feel like you're in a theater, like, and the way just shining the light into the back of the theater, back of the seats. I love it. And my general thoughts with this is, and I started saying this to Brian before the show, and I was like, oh, I should probably save it till we're recording, which is usually how all our conversations are.
Yeah.
But when it comes to puzzle games, there's like two ways it can be executed. There's one where it's fine, but it's where you are playing a puzzle game within an environment. So Seventh Guest, I think, is that. I love it. Seventh Guest is great, but it's clearly like as an escape room puzzles, you're going room to room. Playing this, you genuinely feel like you're playing like a story, like, and the puzzles feel, yes, it's clearly a puzzle game, but you're doing things not because it feels like a level. It's just, yeah, I've got to do this to get to the next section. That might change as we go further, but like, I just love the environmental puzzles that everything is. Everything are environmental puzzles, and it's not an environment with a puzzle on it. It genuinely feels like it's a part of the world, and the mixture of the voice acting, the story, the puzzles, the world building, the environments, everything I've seen so far, I've been super, super impressed with, and I'm really excited to play more.
Yeah, I agree. Virtual Reality Gamer says you're underselling the graphical quality on Quest 3. You haven't gotten far enough to see some really impressive environments. Probably. Yeah. But I mean, 90 minutes in, from what is it, 5-6 hours, something like that. I haven't really dove deep into anyone's review, and again, I kind of don't care to until I get to play it for myself completely. But I feel like I've gotten a good indication as to what the game looks like, and you get to starts off in this very enclosed old theater, and then quickly after that you move to some really big open areas, and I think it looks great. Right? I think if you think I'm underselling it, then maybe you don't have the fondness for PlayStation 2 games like I do, right? You look at old games like Devil May Cry 1. Actually, this looks a lot like Devil May Cry graphically. Sorry, because it looks so good, but PlayStation 2. Anyway, I think it's a great looking game. I think people are getting a little into the weeds here on our description, but it's funny how much this immediately feels like a Fireproof Games game, despite the fact that it is doing something completely different, right? That it's that we do have full locomotion, that it is more, heavily focused on story or character-driven narrative. There's a lot of people who are talking to you, and you just have to, you have to hang out and listen to them talk. But it's fine, right? It doesn't bother me in the same way that Blood and Truth does, right? It feels like it works here better.
Yes.
But man, like there's a visual style that's going on, especially with the spirits that you encounter, especially with the hint system, and especially with the puzzles, right? I mean, these are three big parts of a puzzle adventure game. It feels like it's taking place in the same world as the Room VR Dark Matter, right? Because of the way they've kind of replicated all of that. Yeah, and this suddenly became like a game that I'm just so excited to play. It was hard to put down. Although I will say I stopped because I was sort of just stumped on a puzzle, and it's a good thing I stopped because I took off the headset and I realized how much time we had before Gamescast. And I was like, I gotta fucking I gotta get to work on this, render out some footage. So, but yeah. So what did you?
First thing I thought when I played this game was, oh, I love my nails.
Oh yeah, we do. We have very pretty nails. No, listen. You open up the inventory at any spot, pretty much from the beginning of the game, and you've got in a constant in your inventory is this massive flashlight, and like there's just nothing better than having an awesome flashlight in a horror game. I don't even want to call it a horror game because again, I just like the Room VR Dark Matter.
It's super creepy.
It's creepy, but they don't get into like scary territory yet. again, right? I don't know where this
There's
is
been a
going.
few. I think there's a few moments. It didn't scare me. There's a few moments I'm like, yeah, for people that don't play a lot of horror, I can imagine this. Um, I don't really want to say it, although it's probably going to come up on this video at some point. But yeah, there were certain things in the environment, like noises being made or stuff falling downstairs and that, which I can imagine startles people. But yeah, it's not jump scares. It's just it's atmosphere, isn't it? And that's something they do incredibly well here. The Room VR did it great, but again, it was like you're node to node. You're sort of in just great environments. Here, you're walking around them, and the atmosphere is amazing. Whether you're on the water, you're in a theater, in a lighthouse, all these really cool environments.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I don't know, man. There was a good feeling I had, like just there was something very comforting about getting in here, and like it was smiling when I was playing it, and I just really enjoyed talking to the characters, and the kind of the slow progression of it all, and the fact that they did stop you. Again, in the first 90 minutes, the number of I think there was 3 solid times where I stopped and just kind of had to hang out in a specific area while a character was talking to me, and I was like, I don't mind this. Like I like being in this
Yes.
world. I really enjoy the exploration, and every puzzle that's come up so far has been cool, man. Like
Yes.
uh
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what you're gonna see here is kind of like this. I mean, I think they call it like an elaborate lockbox, but it's you start seeing how it's so similar to the Room VR, and so different, like all at the same time. um I don't know, man.
Do you know what I like about this scene?
What's that?
It's really small, but when you walk back into the cabin, the fisherman's voice on top of the deck becomes muffled again. Like it's
Yes.
simple things like that they didn't have to do, and it really adds to the atmosphere. Like there's been a lot of love and care into the sound design. And I actually thought this puzzle was awesome. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? And then I'm curious to see how quickly you realize what you're meant to do, because
Yeah.
you're doing exactly what I did. Oh, there you go. You did it much quicker than me.
the audio is great.
Yes.
Whether it be that from the voice actors, whether it be just like when the music swells at a certain point, just to really give like that sense of this high production value, and saying that like just to kind of like hit the right beats and make sure that like you feel what you're supposed to feel at the right times, and it does that like very quickly, and it's made me feel a few different things again in the first 90 minutes of the game. So I'm really kind of roped in, man. I'm intrigued with the story already, which, as great as the Room VR was, like, did I care that much what was happening with the story? Not really, because there weren't like NPCs in the game that were helping push it forward, right? It was a lot of reading between stages, with the
Yes.
ghostly papers. And so I feel like they're delivering the story in a better way with this game. The full locomotion feels good. The flashlight feels good. The inventory feels good. The hint system is there if you need it, and it's the same type of tiered hint system that the Room VR had. It really, man, this went from a game that I had a little bit of concern about being like, I'm sure it's going to be good, but how good is it going to be, to being like my most anticipated PSVR2 game of the year, maybe tied with the Midnight Walk. We'll see, right? Because it just feels like they've got so much going on. The number of environments we've seen even early on is like they just keep pushing you forward and forward and forward, and it's just like they're not trying to. So I think so frequently developers are trying to keep you in the same environment for a long time, so that they get the most out of it. And it just felt like I was like, oh man, this whole boat thing was so cool. Is this the only time I'm going to be on this boat? Right? Like it feels like a movie.
Yeah, virtual reality gamer in the chat says you generally feel like you're a part of a TV series. Movie, TV series. It does. It really feels like you're on a story. I have to say, this is the second time I've played a game in VR recently where I've been on a fisherman's boat, and my first thought is Dredge. Bring Dredge to VR. Like, I would love that. Like, just being out there on a boat and all this open water. It's just perfect. I know there is a Dredge VR like mod, but it's like third person top down. But like actually being on the boat, Fisherman's Tale. Obviously, there's that scene where you got the big wave coming, and like you're out in the storm, and it's just like to be in that small cabin in VR. You
Yeah.
know, the scale and in the ocean. It looks incredible. Only time I've ever had any appeal towards going on a fishing trip.
The virtual resistance in the chat says, "What the hell is The Room? Isn't that a horror game?" No, just, again, it's the same studio that made this
Oh
game.
hi, oh hi, Mark.
Not that. Nope, it's not that.
Okay.
It's it's an escape room puzzle game. No teleportation. Again, it's the whole thing is almost like a horror setting or a creepy setting, but not horror. And again, I'm just really shocked at how far Fireproof came with this.
You did exactly what I did. You see a seagull and you're like, I'm going to walk up to it and see if it flies away.
Yeah. Well, did
We
you
can't
also
leave
try to
nature
go
alone.
into? Did you try to go into that little house?
room.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good. But that is good. That is good. Game design is they think, we'll put something here. Can't interact with it, but you'll probably try. Yeah.
8-Bit Most Plays says, bought The Room, never played, and every time you talk about it, you highlight shortcomings in contrast to other games. Not so excited to play it now. This is okay. So this is so great, right? Because The Room VR Dark Matter is really good at what it does, right? But there's this nagging feeling in the back of your brain that you're like, what if this game had full locomotion and just allowed me to wander around these beautiful environments? Would that detract from the game at all? And it might detract from The Room, right? Because of the way it's designed. But this is Fireproof going, hey man, we are keeping up with VR and what people are looking for in VR, and people are looking for full adventures with full locomotion and in places that they can explore on their own. But they've done such a good job so far at funneling you through, being like, hey, what a cool area to walk around and explore. But there's only so much that you can walk around and explore, right? So even when you walk through that auditorium at the beginning of the game, where there's just like hundreds of seats in this auditorium, like in the theater playhouse, you can only walk down one aisle, right? And then you walk down one row, and then you walk up to the stage. It feels they've given you these very cool places. It almost given you the illusion that you have the ability to explore them. So
Yeah.
they have found like a nice middle road for themselves.
That's so true.
It's just you can just that to me that says they have mastered the art of game design, right? Because they're giving players what they want or what they think they want. When I say I want full locomotion in The Room VR, they say, okay, we're going to give that to you, but we're also going to control where you can go and make sure that you never lose focus. And so far they've done that beautifully.
And going back to what I was talking about earlier with certain games and putting my parents in it, and they'll probably like get a bit lost on what to do on certain bits and they'll give up. As soon as I was playing this, I was like, I've got to give this to my parents to play on their Quest 3 because it's great, because exactly that it gives you these environments, but it's very well signposted and obvious where you need to go. So you get to enjoy the feeling of being free on a story, but not being too open that you end up going down a lot of places and dead ends and walking around going, I've got all this freedom, but where am I supposed to go? Whereas here it's, no, here's the next place. Here's some more puzzles and parts of the story. So, yeah.
Oh, see, in Virtual Reality Gamer in the chat, it says, this is the area that we're showing now that underwhelmed me. Quest 3 can't do big scale environments. Meanwhile, I was in this going, that looks great. Like the Quest 3 is kind of killing it.
There was a lot of popping on this with the steps, but I found, I thought this was all great.
They really work with what they're given. And I thought this looked really good. I was actually impressed, especially going up the tram and just
yes.
Just like, oh man, like the scale of this thing that I'm approaching, this island that I'm approaching, it just worked so well for me. And so, again, that's why I look at something like this that looks fantastic on Quest 3, and I'm like, man, I kind of wish I had access to the Steam version. No, I don't, because I don't want to play PSVR games. But just to have a better idea of what what's coming for PSVR2. How big is the graphical jump?
Yeah.
But we're at least a few months away from that. Virtual Reality Gamer says, wait until you get to the apartment. All right, I can't wait. But again,
I think we should stop the footage before getting to the next location. I think anyone should find out for themselves.
Oh, you mean before we? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
I think it's a good show.
That's fair. That's fair. Here, I can switch over to
nails. The black nails look great. The hands looks amazing. Like the fidelity, I was like, wow, these look like. I mean, I know it's a funny thing to say. There's a lot of VR games where your hands look like just default game engine hands, like just really generic. Whereas these were like, no, they look like proper hands.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go further with the footage because that's there's some good stuff coming up. And some really impressive looking stuff, really good moments, memorable moments. Man, it's like I'm so glad. Normally when something comes out on the Quest and then it comes out in PSVR2 later, I say I'll just fucking wait. It'll be fine. I don't mind waiting, right? I don't mind not having any impressions. I'll just wait for the best version to come our way. I'm so glad. That we played this. And now to me it's going to make the anticipation that much better, I think, right? Because now I'm not worried. Now I have no fear whatsoever that Fireproof Games knows exactly what they're doing. And it sounds like this game just gets better and better as you go. So, everyone in the chat who's already played through the whole thing, we got some people who review games here and have played through the entire game already on Quest and Steam or whatever. I trust you guys, and it sounds like we got some really great stuff ahead of us. So, what a great year this is going to be, Miles, for PSVR 2, right? I mean, like next month alone, it's fantastic. And then just, man, the games that couldn't make it out in May or are scared of May are starting to pile up in June already. And then, it's really good stuff. Really good stuff. Comic Book Guy with the 2 quid says, "Hi, I saw Until Dawn movie earlier. I enjoyed it. I didn't fucking realize it was out."
Oh, the Until Dawn movie, yeah.
Have you heard anything about it?
I've seen a few reviews. I've seen a lot of people say like the opening, or the beginning of the movie. They're like, "Oh, okay, really good," and then the rest of it, they're like, "Eh." And then other people have gone, "It's not a movie that breaks any particularly new ground, but it's a good time." So, yeah, good mix of things there. I'm really excited. Zach Kreger, who was from The Whitest Kids, I loved that show on YouTube, and that his debut was Barbarian.
Yes,
which I loved. I love that movie, and he is doing weapons. That teaser is so creepy. But do you know what the other movie is he's working on?
What? No.
Oh my god! If you don't know, I'm excited to see your reaction to this. He's working on a new fresh start Resident Evil movie.
Oh, he's the one.
I'm not going to say anything spoilery, but all I'll say is there is an environment in Barbarian, and I was like, this literally, I'm not going to say which Resident Evil either. I was like, this literally looks like it could be a Resident Evil movie right now. It's incredible. So, he said, I think he's going back to like the roots of classic Resident Evil for it. So do you know the original Resident Evil movie was the first movie I've ever turned off before and didn't finish it. I was just like, this is completely dog poop.
See, I liked it for
not watched any of the others. Yeah,
I liked it for what it was. Like I was like, this clearly is not a Resident Evil movie, even though it's called Resident Evil, right? And there's
how many did they make?
152.
That's what I mean. They obviously, and it made loads of money. They did a good job of it, but.
I didn't. I think I probably watched half of Apocalypse and had the same feeling that you did. I was like, I think I'm done with the series, and then never stuck with the rest of them. But I liked the original Resident Evil for what it was. Not a Resident Evil movie, but just like a weird fucking sci-fi zombie thing. I don't know. And then I actually, unlike the rest of the world, I actually enjoyed Welcome to Raccoon City. Again, not because it was a good movie, but because it was a fun movie, right?
Right.
I don't think this is the Resident Evil movie that we deserve. It was just this thing that came along, packed in so much stuff for the fans, right? Because they were just trying to pack in this enemy and this environment and this character or whatever. But the fans are the ones that are like, yeah, you put all that shit in, but it doesn't make any sense, right? You still didn't give the fans what they want. So it's like, who was that for? And I guess it was for me, just fucking blazed out of my mind, being like, this is really silly. I like it, But yeah, so yeah, we're due for a good Resident Evil movie. Also, by the way, this is my favorite Until Dawn footage to play while talking about Until Dawn, the movie,
Uh,
the game, the anything, because this is for the unreleased PlayStation 3 first person move version of Until
really?
Dawn.
I was
Yeah.
wondering what I was watching.
It was
Okay.
originally going to be a PlayStation 3 move game, and a lot of it was first person, and they just they just said, we're going to ditch that, and we're going to move it over to PlayStation 4 and use the DualSense light tracker to make some decisions. So they completely revamped this thing, but it looks like it could have been a killer app for the PlayStation 3 move controller. Yeah.
Mad
Oh,
Vegan in the chat says, "Love the laser room in the original Resident Evil movie." I kid you not, it was not long after that scene that I turned it off. But that's the thing. That just shows you what it's like with taste and that. And you know what? Maybe now I'd watch it and I'd be like, yeah, I'll take it for what it was. But I think I just went so set in hoping it was going to be a good representation.
it's
Um,
how him with the
yeah,
Predator movies, right? You go in
yeah,
wanting something, and that's not what you get, and you're like,
of
oh,
course.
maybe another time, maybe another time. Yeah.
And that's the thing with the Until Dawn movie. If you go in there expecting it to be a anything like the game, you're going to be disappointed. Because the whole point about Until Dawn was it was a game that was meant to feel like a movie. So to just do a movie of it just kind of wouldn't really work.
I will
But
say
yeah, Zach
weapons.
Kreger. Yeah,
Yeah.
is that the one with the kids are running out
Yeah,
into
and
oh, dude, it's
right,
so
like
creepy.
13 kids willingly ran away from home, like weren't abducted, weren't anything, right? And they're all running with their arms like sort of
Yeah,
like airplane
dude, I'm
mode,
getting
like
chills
this.
thinking about it. It's so
Right.
creepy, that
But
trailer.
here's what I'm hoping, Miles. That 25-second teaser, I hope that's all we ever see before we go to the
Right.
movies. Right? I don't want to see teaser 1, trailer 5, trailer 6, 3 minutes here, another 4 minutes
To
here.
be honest,
no, like the mystery of it is what's intriguing. Don't fuck with that.
yeah.
Right?
To be honest, I probably will leave it at that because Barbarian. By the way, if you've not seen Barbarian, just go in blind. The opening act is one.
Yes.
Like I think it's one of the best opening acts I've ever seen of a horror movie. Like it's so good. Like the tension, and you're always second guessing it. And yeah, I won't say anything else. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't love everything about
Same.
yeah, I don't love everything about Barbarian. But yeah, the opening act.
Yeah, it was.
Worth
It
watching
definitely
the whole
got
movie
weak
for.
towards the end,
Yeah.
but I think overall it was a solid movie. Yeah.
Yeah, agree. Scott's telling me to F5. Also, I saw Scott your comment about Resident Evil Raccoon City being shit. Like, and yeah, I agree. I totally agree, man. Right? I totally agree. It's a shitty movie that sometimes you're in the mood for a shitty movie, and I was definitely in the mood for a shitty movie when I watched Welcome to Raccoon City. Here, I gotta F5 the other screen over here to make sure that I. What am I seeing? Come on. Oh, nothing updated. I thought he was telling me to update the GoFundMe. There's nothing over here, but I'll keep an eye out. Thank you. All right, Miles. That was a good time. You ready to ruin it all with a 4-minute challenge?
Yeah, you're coming up with it. Yeah, you're choosing it.
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, and I need
didn't
lots
choose
of
it.
help from the GameCast.
I didn't choose it. I want to say Jamie Out chose it. I think that's right.
Okay.
Right.
And I just want to say a massive love to all the I've seen it all the way through the chat, all the way through the show. Lots of lovely messages because obviously I was not here last week. I was feeling a bit under the weather.
Oh right.
I'd love to say I feel better now. I'm still recovering, but no, it's good, and it is good to be back doing this. And always appreciate the kind words. Such a loving community.
Yeah, man. I will say it was a little bittersweet in your absence because when you're not here or when somebody doesn't show up now, I just do the show alone, and it feels like I'm getting free therapy from the cats.
I just remember now. I tuned in. I was in bed feeling sorry for myself, and I just tuned in, and it was you put the Muppet image of me, and I was really like depressed that night. And watching it, it cheered me up so much because the game cats are just funny. It was just relentlessly going, God, Miles won't shut up, will he? And I saw this is the funniest Miles has ever been, and like, yeah, it was great. And your intro was really good as well. because you were like, "How's it? It's Miles," and then you look at the photo and you just couldn't stop laughing. It was great. Yeah, so I watch all of Gamescast, even though you've. Yeah, I look way more lively in that photo than I do here.
Yeah, we're both struggling today. It's okay. The cats understand. We appreciate you guys. It's awesome. 8-bit Mo says Sesame Street Miles held it down. Yeah. Maintain the positivity throughout the whole stream.
That was it. Yeah.
All right, you guys. 4-minute challenge time. I picked out a game. It might be PSVR1. It might be PSVR2, but it's up to Miles up here and you guys out there to figure out what game I'm thinking of. You got only 4 minutes, but an infinite number of yes or no questions during that time. Suggest good games to Miles, suggest good questions for him to ask, and then suggest good games based on the questions that I answer.
Yeah.
Miles, are you ready?
No, but let's do this.
All right. I'm actually just making sure that I've got the game front and center here.
I'll be taking notes so I remember what I'm asking you and what you're telling me about it.
There you go. Yeah, I've always got to take notes because my brain's not good.
Yeah.
90 native backlogged game cat, which is a great fucking name, by the way. With the level 1 membership,
don't jinx it.
It says no sirens today, Brian. Unpause it, please. I will tell you, I was going out of my mind because I recorded so many voiceovers earlier today for PSVR this week, for some Dig VR, the review. And it was nonstop sirens the whole time. And I was just like, this has to stop. There was car horns and there was a car alarm going off. And man, I'm a city boy. I am. I can't live out in the country. I did that and I hated it. But man, I will tell you that living in the city does have its drawbacks. Oh, what is happening? Miles Dyer with the level 2 membership says Game Cats rule.
Got to use those free things. Wow, 26 months. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus. I feel
Where does
like I
time
owe
go?
you a pizza. All right, let's fucking go. Let me bring up the timer wherever it is. Here we go. Let's do this, Miles. On your mark. Get Des. Go.
Is it on PSVR 2?
Yeah.
Is it on PSVR 1? PSVR?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're off to a good start.
Does it have a multiplayer?
Yes.
Okay. And is multiplayer PvP?
Yes. I believe so.
Is it a sport?
Only in the loosest sense of the word. I don't think that's
okay.
What
So
call it.
it's. I mean, you're doing basically like physical activities. It's not a traditional sport, right? It's its own kind of game. Is that what you'd say?
Listen, you could label it as a traditional sport, but I don't.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, it's really not going to help you that much.
Did we talk about it today?
No.
Okay. Are there high scores on it?
I don't. Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess they're
leaderboards or anything, maybe. Yeah.
Might be leaderboards.
Okay, cool.
This is the worst. This is the worst.
Yeah.
Ever.
It might be a PSVR 2 game. Might be a VR game.
I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Have you played it? Have you played it on PSVR 2?
I don't. I might have only very briefly.
Okay. Would you regard it as a good game?
No, I would not.
Okay, so I thought that might be why. So not a good game. Is it? Have they gone for realism?
No.
No realism. Is it based? Is it sci-fi-esque?
No.
Not sci-fi-esque. Is it a driving game?
No.
Okay.
Right Pop, you might have picked it. So are there leaderboards? Go ahead.
Is there a single player?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can play it single player. Yeah.
I would consider this mostly single player, but yeah, there is an option to play.
And if you're playing it single player, are you against AI like opponents?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, guys, this is on PSVR and PSVR 2. It's got multiplayer, PvP. It's like sportsy. Leaderboards potentially. Not a good game. They've not gone for realism. It's not sci-fi. Can play single player against bots. 5 stars. Oh man. Oh dude, this is so hard. Oh, is it table tennis?
No.
It's not Racket Fury. Are you using balls in this? Is it a ball game?
No.
It's not a ball game.
No.
And you're not shooting.
Not shooting.
Is it? I said driving. I think. Are you racing against other people?
Not racing. No.
So what other sport could it be? Is it fighting, like combat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, combat.
You have 15 seconds.
Are you in a boxing ring?
No.
No, we talked about this today, Creed. Oh my god. Oh man, boxing game that's not realistic.
All right, man. Time is up. As established by the Looper rules of April 2025, you are able to guess the game. Post time? But no more questions, please.
Is it Gorn?
It is not Gorn.
No.
This game came out in 2018, Miles, and then again for PSVR2 later down the road. The melee boxing type game from The Monkey, Drunken Bar Fight.
Okay.
This is a hard one.
Yeah. It's definitely not sci-fi. You're right about that.
It's not sci-fi, yeah. Right? Because you can't say this is not a sport, right? Because it's like, yeah. But it is kind of boxing, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So, good try.
It's good. It was good. Good pick.
Yeah.
First time it's ever been picked. Wow.
No way.
That's what Looper says, so it's true.
That's craziness. Fifth with the Australian $2 tip says, loved the Legendary Tales stream picture. Miles, what was our stream picture? Oh, is that the thumbnail? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Miles always has good thumbnails for these things.
It's just because I've got to see how to do AI prompts. But I can't really take credit for that.
Do you submit a picture of us as a group and for it to work with? It's
the same like 4 photos. It was screenshots from us for doing a live stream, and I've literally got these zoom ins of us. I'm literally going to DM you now the 4 photos I've got that I ask it to use. You will laugh at this. It's just like while we're doing a show, because honestly, like this is going to sound really weird, but like when it comes to AI stuff, like I do take ethical stuff seriously. So like, for example, if I ever use photos of people, I'll use stuff that is publicly available. Like, but yeah.
So I will say, so I was like, listen, I take everything in stride, and I don't remember the last time in my life I've been offended, right? Like, but I think AJ was very unhappy with the way that one of the AI pictures that were generated for the Phasmophobia stream, because it made him look like a fucking tank, right? It was like it was funny, right? Because it kind of made us look like the Fantastic Four or something like that. It was like this. It was great, but it kind of did him dirty. It did AJ dirty.
Yeah, agreed.
And then and honestly, like as accurate as it might have been, the Legendary Tales image that you used did both you and me both dirty. I think I was like
yeah.
Oof.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, there's always going to be people it does dirty each time, and like and actually when I do the thumbnails for my Let's Plays, it was all from an AI app that came out years, like 3 or 4 years ago, and I paid like $20 for like 200 images. You upload 20 photos of you, and a lot of them are rubbish. And I know there's a lot of conversation about like, is it lazy or is it ethical and stuff. When I do my my thumbnails, I'm basically taking from this bucket of all these random ones of me, and I'm putting it in, but I'm still like making the rest of the thumbnail. Like I still design it. I just have that image for me. But the reason I do it is because the AI images, they never look quite right, and I kind of like I find it quite like that's kind of like VR. It's not quite reality, and so that's why I go with it. But yeah, there's a lot of like AI outputs that are just like, yeah, that's done me dirty right there. And so you win some, you lose some. But yeah, it was quite fun doing those two. Whatever game we do next, I'll try and do it in the style of them with the same 4 images of us.
Yeah, yeah. Man, and I really, the Legendary Tales stream, I know we talked about at the beginning of this stream, but it was a lot of fun, and I still have it in the back of my mind, like as soon as I can find like a day free where I can like edit down these streams into these edited 10-minute videos where I'm jumping from different people's perspectives, because all 4 of us either streamed or recorded both of the 4-player live streams, and so I've got footage from everyone's perspective, and I'm really, really interested in putting those together. The downside is that like I want to put them together as part of this fundraiser for the GoFundMe, right, for us to get to PAX East, but I just don't think I'm gonna have time to actually do it until after we get back.
The Phasmo one I want to see so bad.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. I think that's it. I will definitely do that one first. And if I can find time
send you
over
the
next
footage
week
for the Legendary one, yeah.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. But if I can find time over the next week between reviews, I will absolutely put the Phasma one together, because I think that's going to be a really good one. All right, you guys, it is time to go. Thank you very much. Hopefully you all had a great week, and hopefully you all have a great weekend ahead of you. I got to get to work on PSVR this week. That should be going live later tonight, and then the Dig VR review is going to be it should be out tomorrow morning, and then God, I'm just trying to think of everything else. There's a House of Da Vinci review coming up soon. There's a Wildtown Wonders review coming up soon. There's a lot happening. So stay tuned.
I laugh every time I hear Dig VR mentioned, because for some weird reason it just reminds me of a metal song called Dig by a band called Mudvayne. Do you ever remember that?
I remember Mudvayne, but I don't. Is that the song I remember?
That was their first ever single, Dig, and like they all wear like the really bright makeup and that. And it's like, as a kid when I saw that, it's like the heaviest song I'd ever heard. And yeah, that's all I think about when I hear Dig VR.
It's funny. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who supported us over on the GoFundMe. We love you guys for that so very much. And thank you, everybody who supports the channel on a regular basis by being over a supporter over on patreon.com/withoutparolegames, by being a member over here, by tipping during the show. It all helps out, and you guys are unbelievable. You've been nothing but appreciative for years and years. No, you've been nothing but, I'm so appreciative. You've been nothing but helpful. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind, for years.
What's our words, Brian?
What are words? But we're just happy that you're here. So come join our community, just hanging out and having fun. That's the important part here. And so join our Discord. Come hang out there, and fucking you guys are just all awesome. Thanks to everybody. Before we get out of here, this is your clip of the week from Matt Poole VR. See you guys. Miles, I wanted to show off that clip of the week specifically because so frequently, like, we keep showing off like Hitman bugs and weird things that happen in that game, or just weird glitches that happen in other games. But so infrequently do we get people submitting just to be like, look at how fucking great I am at this. And I had seen Matt Poole talk about this clip on Twitter where he was saying, he goes, when I try to aim, it just goes horribly wrong. He goes, but when I just go with the flow and just shoot from the hip, basically, he goes, I nail every single one. And I love the flare that he throws in there, where it's like at some point between shots, he's taking arrows out of dead zombies and then re-knocking them, and then like flipping the bow, right? Like almost like somebody would like twirl a revolver, right? Just being like a show off. But that was I don't know, man. I love that. That was so good to see. I've never played Saints and Sinners that way.
No,
I'm very.
I was very impressed as well. It instantly reminded me of, there's all these videos I've seen of the Last of Us gameplay, and they're clips called aggressive gameplay, where people just play Last of Us combat situations and are just like leaning into it and just decimating everyone. Dude, I know, I saw that was on TikTok. You need to just put it with BFG Division by Mick Gordon. He did the Doom soundtrack, and it will just like instantly look even more epic. But yeah, that's really, really good stuff, man.
Random Doxy, the derailed hype train game cat, says, "Damn, surprised that bow didn't blow up." Yeah, with everything that's most weapons in Saints and Sinners don't last all that long. They degrade very, very quickly. So that is a little bit surprising. But all right, you guys, have a great weekend. We love you all.
Good night.